What is going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and this video here that I'm making for you right now is not my post-game video, my review video for the Dolphins game. I'll be putting that out tomorrow because that's a bit more in-depth video. It's going to take a little time to put together, so watch for that tomorrow. But this video is going to be, technically it's my second scouting report video that I'm going to do. But I told you guys I'm going to be doing, scouting report videos on multiple teams every week on every team that we have on our schedule until they come off of our schedule. So this video is actually going to be for the Jacksonville Jaguars and Houston Texans game. As just a quick, little scouting report, just to kind of keep tabs on these teams and see how they're doing throughout the season and so on and so forth. I'm going to give you, my view, just a quick synopsis of how I think, what I think of the team, so on and so forth, what stuck out to me. I'll give you just the baseline stats from the game, and then I am also going to give you, the league leaders. So like where do they stand in, like passing yards and, defensive statistics and stuff. So anyway, let's get into it. The first thing I want to say is, or for this video, is just put some context on it. So obviously these are two, young, inexperienced teams that are in, rebuild modes. Obviously the Texans have the Deshaun Watson thing, but I think honestly that's pretty irrelevant right now for this video, so I'm not even going to talk about it at all. But they're both in rebuild modes, and they're both expected to not be, very good teams throughout the season and overall. Now, for me, just real quick for my overview, my first impression of these teams is that I actually think both of these offenses do have some sneaky potential on offense, right? So, and the Texans had a good day overall. I think the Jaguars could have had a much better day if they just didn't make an ungodly amount of mistakes. A bunch of drop passes, like a ton of drop passes, penalties all over the place, and then obviously, as I'm sure many of you know, Trevor Lawrence threw 3 interceptions, all of which were terrible. And they were more on him than they were on the Patriots defense. I mean, the defenders were certainly in the right place at the right time, and they actually secured the ball and caught the ball. So there is that. Obviously, they played a part in it. But the mistakes were totally on Trevor Lawrence. The first one, he's rolling out of the pocket to his left. He actually had a wide open wide receiver. He just, when he threw the ball, it floated on him a bit, and he was off target, and it ended up going into the arms of a defender. The second one was a situation where he stared down his receiver. He didn't see the underneath corner, and the underneath corner just came up and jumped the route and picked it, right? And then the third one, I don't even know what he was looking at, if I'm keeping it honest. I have literally no idea what he was looking at because he threw it into the middle of the field, right, about 15, 20 yards downfield from where he was, from the the line of scrimmage, and it was straight into the middle of the Texans defense, where there were approximately like 4 or 5 Texans defenders. There wasn't even a wide receiver like anywhere close really, and he threw it right in between the numbers of the defenders. So yes, and they were bad mistakes, absolutely, but he did have some solid moments and showed some of what I would guess people would call the flashes and potential of what Jacksonville Jaguar fans are hoping to get out of Trevor Lawrence. So we'll see. And when I say sneaky potential, I'm for their offenses, I'm basically referring to like probably middle of the pack. If they can reach their potential in this season, I think there's they could both potentially have maybe a middle of the pack, but probably leaning towards the back half offenses. For me in this game, Neither defense really stuck out. Obviously, the Texans defense had the 3 interceptions, but again, that was mostly on Trevor Lawrence. So let's actually get into some statistics here. I'm going to actually put this over. So I just want to, I want to give you guys, so let me try and cut that out because I don't want to get copyrighted. And I need to get into the good habits of making sure I don't have things in here. And, you know, when you have the game in there, you can, it's not playing, obviously. It's just a still frame. So that may not count. But anywho, enough of that. So let's just take a look. Obviously, we see the score here. The Texans won 37-21. Like I said, I mean, the defenses weren't really doing a ton. It was, you know, particularly for the Jags, when there were woes on offense, it was just the mistakes. But the Texans played a damn solid game on offense and defense, obviously being in the right place for those interceptions. So let's just take a look here at some of these statistics. Trevor Lawrence was 28 for 51, so he threw 51 passes, 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. So that's why I'm saying he did have 3 touchdowns, and he had some nice moments. And I would venture to guess that those interceptions are definitely things he could learn from. But will he? How will he bounce back, etc., etc.? Now, we obviously don't play the Jacksonville Jaguars until week 6 in London. I do think that is going to be an interesting matchup. It is one that I do have us winning as of right now. So that is one of my wins on the season. And so, you know, obviously rookie quarterback, you know, have to travel to London, et cetera, et cetera. And look, both of these teams, and then the Texans, we don't play until week 9. But both of these teams, especially if the Dolphins want to prove to be the kind of team that we all hope that they are, in other words, a playoff contender, and hopefully even a team that can maybe win in the playoffs, then they have to come out. This is the kind of team that they should be able to not just win against, but actually win against with a pretty significant margin. So, you know, we'll have to see if that plays out. Real quick, so as you see, Carlos Hyde, though, had, you know, 9 carries, 44 yards with a 4.9 average. James Robinson, 5 for 25 yards and a 5 average. I mean, they do have some solid running backs, and Lawrence can use his legs if he needs to. Their receivers are not bad, man. I mean, DJ Chark is pretty solid. I mean, it's pretty intense that there's 12 targets and 3 receptions, but that's what I mean when I say that there were a ton of drop passes. So he's a good receiver, but obviously that's a terrible catch rate. So but he did get 86 yards and a touchdown on his 3 receptions. So, you know, if you catch all of those passes and you don't drop 9 of your 12 passes, then those stats actually could have obviously been significantly higher. So, and then Marvin Jones was 5 of 9, 77 and a touchdown. Laviska Shenault, 7 of 9 for 50. James O'Shaughnessy had a couple drop passes. That were the 2, you know, 6 of 8, 48. James Robinson, Chris Manhertz, he had their 3rd touchdown, 1 for 22 and 1 touchdown, right? So there's, you know, there are the receivers. Let's see real quick. James Robinson had a fumble, but it didn't go anywhere. He managed to keep it. Shaquem Griffin and Rashawn Jenkins both had passes defensed. And then just here, a quick look at some of their defensive leaders. I'm not really gonna, you know, there was a couple tackle here. Let's look at just the overall. So they ended up having, why doesn't it tell me the total? Okay, I guess I will count it then. So they had 3 tackles for loss and 1 sack on the defense. And then, you know, Josh Lambo, 3 for 3 on his extra points, missed 1 field goal. And yeah, okay. And so that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now let's take a look at the Houston Texans. I actually should have, I'm kind of doing this a little bit backwards. I should have done the team stats first. But anyway, Tyrod Taylor was 21 for 33, 291 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I don't know why they don't put completion percentage here. But anyway, Mark Ingram, and look, Tyrod Taylor, he's a solid passer, man. And you know, one of his things is he just has to stay healthy because he's had you know, numerous injuries in his career. But he's a solid passer. He's pretty good as a passer, but he's also a dual threat and can use his legs. Mark Ingram is a good running back. Phillip Lindsay and David Johnson are good running backs. They have a solid stable there. But Mark Ingram, 26 carries for 85 yards, 1 touchdown, but only a 3.3 average. Tyrod Taylor had 4 rushes for 40 yards and a 10 average, so there you go. He can use his legs. Lindsey was 8 for 25 and a score, a 3-1. David Johnson, 3 of 10 and a 3-3. And then they do have some solid receivers too. Brandon Cooks was 5 of 7 for 132. Pharaoh Brown, 4 of 5. He made a beautiful one-handed catch in the game for 67. Amendola, solid veteran receiver that, you know, is good on third downs, and he came through for them in a couple instances in that situation in this game. 5 of 5, perfect. 30, you know, caught everything his way in this game. 34 yards and a touchdown. I do think overall, especially right now, the Texans in this game and in this matchup, they definitely proved to be the more, you know, complete team that you know, had the fewest amount of mistakes. And then let's see, Chris Conley, 2 of 2 for 27. David Johnson, 3 of 4 for 18 and a touchdown, right? So, and then let's see, Tyrod Taylor had a fumble but didn't lose it. Terrence Mitchell caused a forced fumble, had a forced fumble. Let's see, Christian Kirksey, Vernon Hargraves, and Justin Reed each had an interception there for their yards. 2 passes defense for Kirksey, 2 for Hargraves, and 1 for Justin Reed. So 5 in total. Oh, I know, 6 in total because Zach Cunningham also had 1. So, you know, you can see here that the defense for the Texans obviously stood out a bit more. But, again, these interceptions, when you look at it and you watch what actually happened on the tape, they were definitely mistakes made primarily by Trevor Lawrence. I don't know why I was saying Justin. And then let's, you know, here there's some of the Christian Kirksey had 2 tackles for loss. Whitney Merciless, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. And then that was it there. Joey Sly, 3 of 3 on his field goals, 4 of 4 on his extra points. And yeah. Okay, real quick, let me just toss in the overall team statistics because I'm a jackass and didn't do it, and for some reason it's not letting me. I don't know why it's been doing this, but when you go, like, look at this, I don't understand. So you guys see this, right? Of course, because it's in the video. So you see how I click over to Insights? I know this is kind of off topic, but you go to Stats and it'll show you the Jags, show you the Texans, but when you click on Team, it just goes away. I don't get that. So I guess I can't show you what their overall statistics were. I mean, I guess I could like go back and do a guesstimate. Although, not really, because at the end of the day, the next thing that I do want to, just a little bit more data to add in. There's one more thing that I want to take a look at, and this is something that I do include, or I intend to include in all of these little videos, as well as all of my videos for, you know, the Dolphins. Let's see, but I do want to just, you know, where do these teams stand after the first week, you know, and after each week, where do they rank in the league? So let's see. Hang on. Let me make sure I get the right team statistics. Okay, so I'm just going to look at team statistics. I'm not going to look at like individual statistics and stuff right now. Maybe later, maybe a little bit more down the road once it becomes a little bit more relevant. But let's just take a quick look at total yards and see where these two teams are. So, as you can see, the Texans, okay, and they already list it here in, you know, in order. So the Texans are actually, as of right now, 3rd in the league with 449 total yards. And let's see, Jacksonville Jaguars, on the other hand, where are they? They're above us. I mean, we were only at 259. So there's that. Where are they? Oh, okay. So they're right here at 395, which puts them... Why don't they have numbers? I don't like that they don't have numbers. So let's see. I have to count it out, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th. So Jacksonville is at 395, and that puts them at 13th overall in the league. So, yeah. So let's see. real quick. Let me just rattle through these real quick and get through these. So what is this? Passing. So passing, we have Jacksonville Jaguars are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After game 1, they are 6th in the league in passing at 319, and the Texans are, let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10th in the league with 289. Okay. And then obviously this will be more important down the line once we actually play these teams to see where they are relative to us at that point. But it is interesting to look at right now. So let me go ahead and finish going through this. So for rushing on offense, the Texans are 4th in the league right now after week 1 with 160. Obviously, this also does not yet include the Monday night game tomorrow, so that is important context. But for all the games that were played, the Texans are 4th in the league in rushing, whereas the Jags are, let's see, where are the Jags? They're kind of down there. Let's see, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25th. We're 25th in rushing. 24th. So the Jags are 23rd in rushing at 76, and we had 74. So obviously not very good there for us or the Jags, but it is what it is. So let's see, what do we got next? We got receiving, downs. No, let's just do defensive now, yards allowed. Like I said, I'll actually probably go into some of these other statistics when I actually do like the preview video specifically for the game against the team. Right now, I'm not going to go into all these other different side statistics. Okay, but so defensively, total yards allowed. So this is actually, as it's listed right here, as you can see, the higher number is listed at the top, which means defensively you let up that many yards. So, which is obviously the opposite of, the offensive total yards. So Jacksonville was 3rd worst in the league after the first set of games this week with 449. Let's see. And then the Texans ended up at, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th in the league with 395. Okay, and let's just take a look at passing and then receiving. So Houston they are 5th worst in the league, right? Or no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are 6th worst in the league with 319 passing yards given up. And Jacksonville is 7, 8, 9, 10th worst in the league with 289 passing yards given up. And then for rushing yards, which will be the last one, wait. I'm confused. Teams offense, defense, yards allowed, passing. I just did passing, right? Passing. Why don't they have rushing? I'm confused. Am I missing this? Am I silly right now? Turnovers, passing, receiving, and downs. Why don't they have rushing for defensive? Okay, well, let's see. Defense. Yards per game. Total defense. Well, that's silly. Total rushing. Oh, here we go. Okay. I managed to figure it out. This is the last one that I wanted to throw in there, so I'm glad I did. Okay, so real quick then, who comes up first? The Texans are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th best in the league, only giving up 76 yards. And the Jacksonville Jags are, let's see, 4th worst in the league, having given up 160. So there you have it. Hopefully I'll get used to this format a little bit more as the year goes on, so I can streamline this a little bit. And I guess, now that I know that they don't actually put numbers ahead of time, I'll probably actually go in and before I make the video, I'll actually just figure that out ahead of time so I don't have to count it out. Because that's kind of annoying. I wish they would give you the numbers. But anyway, there you have it. So that is going to be my just little preview video. Ended up being a little longer than I was hoping for it to be, but like I said, I will try and streamline that as I go through and get used to this format and so on and so forth. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope it was good, a good little breakdown of these teams. Like I said, until a team comes off our schedule, I will be doing breakdowns of every game they play up until that point. So it's going to be a lot of these little videos for all the different teams, because I'm going to do it for every team that's on our schedule. So hope you guys liked it. I hope you found it insightful and informative. And with that, I am going to get out of here. If you like, I hope you enjoy my perspective and what I bring to you. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. See y'all soon. Fins up.